Okay, can you say your name?
Mike of LUC.
Okay. First question is, do you think our generation currently has a generational figurehead, leader, or uniting object?
I guess I feel like we have a lot of figures. I mean, I think most of our figures come from technology now, websites, online. I would say Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, people like that kind of unite a lot of college students, it seems. I would say we go to blogs more often than we do to, TV outlets than we used to. So I feel like that's shifted a lot. But in terms of generational voices, I mean, I'm a music fan, so I still go with musicians. I mean, I know there's a criticism that we don't have the Lennons, the McCartneys, but we still have the Radioheads. They've just changed names and they've hidden themselves. So
Yeah.
I think just because they're not necessarily speaking to the masses doesn't mean they're not out there.
Okay. So why do you think they aren't like the Lennons? Is it well, keep going.
Well, I guess I feel like I wonder if Lennon was the type of magnified figure that we've made him, or if it's just a case of, historically we're putting more into our 60s and 70s figures because we see them as these larger-than-life figures when maybe at the time they weren't these larger-than-life figures. Maybe they were still how we view a Tom York or any other independent
So maybe
super
20 years from now, Tom York might be Lennon.
Yeah, I mean, he could change entire distribution systems and music and pop culture and everything.
Smoke from your bro.
Sorry, I don't have one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
It's fine. So do you think it's important for our generation to have a voice, a leader?
I mean, I think at certain times when it comes around the elections and stuff like that, it definitely does seem like, well, where's our voices at? Where are people that we look up to? Do we have any more role models and stuff like that? But I guess, I mean, I'm not sure we necessarily need it. I mean, just shifting from a kind of mono system of ones and stars and celebrities. I mean, maybe it's a good thing that we have this kind of pluralistic society where we go to multiple sources and we don't have these big figureheads who get enshrined as gods and, moguls. I mean, maybe it's better that way.
Okay, so it's probably better, it could be better that we're very individualistic in niche culture, but if we had to, do you think there'd be one issue that we could unite around?
I mean, I guess I feel like our generation has a lot of issues. I mean, I think gay rights is something that our generation has kind of took, and to a new level. I think that's something that'll definitely change in the next 20, 25 years. I think that's definitely something we'll all be able to, or at least I hope, But in terms of bigger issues, I mean, I guess you look at President Obama and you think maybe that would have been our moment to kind of unite, start some movements, and have some sort of unified social kind of movement. But I mean, it seems like it's turned into this bureaucratic almost presidency where it's all about healthcare reform, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's become a lot less youth involved, it seems, as he's become president than before. So, I mean, I guess I would hope that in terms of issues and stuff like that, that the next election will be coming out of sorts. I mean, we had the immigration issues before September 11th, and that was a big deal, and I think a lot of students were involved with that and just felt that it was kind of ludicrous that we don't really believe in this kind of border and huge wall. I mean, I think there was a huge support for that, but after the September 11th attacks, and it got shifted away from that, and we just forgot about it. So maybe that'll come up again, and maybe that'll be a chance for us to kind of unite. So.
Okay. Last question. Our generation is commonly called the Echo Boomers because we're just offshoots of the Baby Boomers, and we have no voice, and we're pretty much just offshoots, and they provide for us, and we really don't have to do anything. Does that term Echo Boomer offend you?
I mean, in some respect, I guess. I feel like, I don't think we're parasitic on our kind of elders as much as maybe, I have an older brother and sister, and I feel like they definitely were much more dependent on models and stuff like that. And I guess I think it's a good thing that we don't have this, we don't enshrine our public figures. I mean, maybe that's a step up for us, that we we don't want to create these gods, and even with Obama, I mean, a lot of us have been very critical of him and his movement in terms of we could have just kind of blindly followed him and said that he's our voice, he's our figure, and a lot of us saw him in the presidency and aren't happy with the results so far. So, I mean, maybe it's good that we can kind of healthily criticize our leaders and figures.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, one last question.
Sure,
actually. It seems like you're saying like everyone really does have a voice. It's just not a united voice. You think that's a good thing?
I do. I believe in kind of pluralistic society. I think that we don't have to have one figure for our movement. I think we should have 25 figures, you know.
Is there a point where those diversity of voices become shouting and white noise?
I think so. I mean, I think like even when you look at like a lot of the talk shows, like I know Bill Maher has kind of this kind of panel show where it's become this kind of big deal where lots of panels and critics just come and shout, and I don't know, intelligent debate kind of becomes polarized, and I guess I do agree that yes, it can become very polarized shouting almost in certain forums, but I guess I would still like to think that there are other forums out there where there is intelligent conversation happening. And I mean, in terms of Bill Maher, I think CNN has a lot of good programs where they invite guests on and it's not just a shouting match. I mean, I think the movement definitely needs to tend more towards neutrality and being able to have conversations instead of this kind of polarized left-right shouting. So
Perfect. Thank you.